Ladies and gentlemen, listen closely. There's a message in this world that we often overlook. If they never call or text you first, it's not about them, it's about you. Now, let me tell you something about value. You see, value isn't something you ask for. It's not something you beg for. It's something you command. If someone doesn't take a moment to reach out to you, to check on you, to say, hey, how are you doing? They're telling you all you need to know about how they see you. Believe them the first time. Recognizing your own value is one of the most profound acts of self-respect you can ever undertake. It's about understanding deep within your soul that you are inherently worthy, not because of what you do, not because of what you provide to others, but simply because you exist. Too often, people tie their worth to external validation, waiting for someone else to affirm their importance. But the truth is, your value doesn't come from someone's opinion of you. It doesn't come from how much attention you receive or how many people choose to stay in your life. Your value comes from within, and it's unwavering. When you truly recognize your worth, you begin to see the ways in which you've allowed others to cross lines, take advantage, or leave you drained. You realize that boundaries are not just optional, they are essential. Boundaries are not walls to shut people out. They are safeguards that protect your peace, your energy, and your mental well-being. Without boundaries, you can find yourself giving endlessly to people who take without giving back. You can find yourself in situations where your kindness is mistaken for weakness and your generosity is exploited. Knowing your worth means having the courage to say no. It means standing firm when someone asks you to do something that doesn't align with your values, your time, or your emotional health. Saying no isn't selfish, it's necessary. Because every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve you, you're saying no to yourself. Recognizing your worth allows you to flip that script. It empowers you to prioritize yourself without guilt, knowing that your peace is not just a luxury, it's a necessity. The beauty of valuing yourself is that it shifts the dynamics of your relationships. When you set boundaries, the people who truly care for you will respect them. They won't see your limits as a rejection, but as a reflection of your self-respect. On the other hand, those who take issue with your boundaries were likely benefiting from your lack of them. And that's okay, because not everyone is meant to walk the journey with you. Part of valuing yourself is having the strength to let go of relationships that no longer serve your growth, no matter how familiar or comforting they once were. Protecting your peace is an ongoing process. It's about being intentional with your time and energy. It's about choosing to surround yourself with people and environments that uplift you rather than drain you. When you value your worth, you become selective, not out of arrogance, but out of love for yourself. You begin to understand that your energy is a currency, and not everyone deserves to have access to it. Recognizing your value is not an overnight transformation, it's a practice. It's waking up each day and choosing to honor yourself even when it feels difficult. It's reminding yourself in the face of doubt or criticism that you are enough. When you value your worth and set boundaries, you create space for the peace, joy, and respect that you truly deserve. Actions are the truest reflection of someone's priorities. Words, while powerful, can only go so far. They're easy to say, easy to promise, but actions require effort, intention, and commitment. When someone consistently fails to initiate contact or show effort in a relationship, it's not just an oversight or forgetfulness, it's a clear indicator of where their priorities lie. In any relationship, be it romantic, platonic, or familial, mutual effort is the foundation. Both sides should feel valued, seen, and appreciated. If you find yourself always being the one to call, to text, to make plans, it's worth pausing to ask why. Relationships are not meant to be one-sided. They thrive when both parties are invested and willing to show up for each other. When one person consistently falls short, it sends a message maintaining the connection is not a priority for them. It can be painful to accept this truth, especially when you deeply care about someone. You might find yourself making excuses for their lack of effort. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they don't know how much it means to you. Maybe they're going through something. While these reasons could hold some weight occasionally, a pattern of neglect isn't about an isolated circumstance, it's about their consistent choices. Busy people make time for what matters. Someone going through a tough time may still reach out in small ways if they value the relationship. Effort doesn't always have to be grand gestures. Sometimes it's the simple things that speak volumes: a text to check in, a quick call to say hello, a moment taken to ask how you're doing and genuinely listen to the answer. These small actions show that someone is thinking about you, that you matter to them, that they are prioritizing you, even amidst life's chaos. When these actions are absent, it's not about being forgetful, it's about a lack of intentionality. It's important to understand that everyone shows care in different ways. However, if someone's way of showing care consistently leaves you feeling unappreciated or unseen, that's something worth addressing. You shouldn't have to beg for someone's attention or effort. Relationships should feel like a dance where both partners take turns leading, meeting each other halfway. If you're always chasing, always initiating, always pulling the weight, the balance is off. Recognizing this imbalance isn't about assigning blame or creating conflict. It's about respecting yourself enough to acknowledge the truth of the situation. If someone doesn't prioritize you, that doesn't diminish your value. It's not a reflection of who you are. It's a reflection of who they are and where their focus lies. You deserve connections that feel reciprocal, relationships where your effort is met with equal energy. Ultimately, actions reveal the truth that words often conceal. If someone consistently doesn't initiate, it's not your job to chase them, remind them, or plead with them to care. Let their actions guide your decisions. Value yourself enough to seek relationships where effort flows freely and priorities are clear. Healthy relationships, whether romantic, platonic, or familial, thrive on reciprocity. It's the principle that both parties contribute equally to the connection, creating a balance of effort, care, and energy. Reciprocity ensures that neither person feels overburdened or undervalued. It's a dynamic that fosters trust, respect, and a sense of partnership. Without it, relationships become lopsided, leaving one person to carry the weight of the bond while the other simply coasts along. When reciprocity is present, relationships flow naturally. Both individuals feel seen and appreciated because their efforts are acknowledged and matched. It's not about keeping score or expecting tit-for-tat exchanges. Instead, it's about mutual investment, a shared understanding that both people are committed to nurturing the connection. This mutuality creates a foundation of security, allowing the relationship to grow without resentment or imbalance. However, when reciprocity is missing, the cracks begin to show. One person may find themselves constantly initiating conversations, planning outings, or making sacrifices to keep the relationship afloat. Over time, this lack of balance can lead to feelings of frustration and emotional exhaustion. It's hard to feel valued when the effort you put in is not returned. A relationship where one person is always giving while the other takes is not a partnership, it's a burden. Reciprocity doesn't mean that every contribution must look the same. People bring different strengths to relationships, and what one person offers may differ from the other. One partner might excel in emotional support, while the other contributes through acts of service. One friend might initiate plans more often, while the other provides unwavering reliability. What matters is the sense of fairness, that both parties are giving in ways that feel meaningful and balanced. The absence of reciprocity can sometimes stem from a lack of awareness rather than intentional neglect. It's worth addressing the imbalance openly and honestly. Communicating your feelings can give the other person an opportunity to understand and adjust. A healthy relationship should be able to withstand these conversations because at its core is a desire for mutual respect and growth. If someone values the connection, they'll make the necessary changes to ensure you don't feel taken for granted. However, it's also important to recognize when a lack of reciprocity is a deeper issue. If someone consistently fails to meet you halfway, even after conversations about the imbalance, it may be time to reevaluate the relationship. Reciprocity is not a favor, it's a fundamental aspect of any healthy connection. You deserve relationships that uplift you, not ones that leave you feeling depleted. Ultimately, reciprocity is about showing that the relationship matters to both of you. It's a shared commitment to nurturing and maintaining the bond. When both parties put in effort, the connection feels enriching and fulfilling. It's this mutuality that transforms relationships from mere acquaintanceships into meaningful, enduring partnerships. Healthy relationships are never one-sided. They are built on the shared foundation of effort, respect, and care. Your energy is one of your most precious resources. It fuels your ability to work, connect, and grow. Yet it's often taken for granted, especially when you give too much of it to people who don't appreciate it. Protecting your energy is not about shutting people out or being selfish. It's about being intentional with who and what you allow into your life. It's about ensuring that your energy is invested in people who value, uplift, and support you, not those who drain, disrespect, or diminish you. There are people in this world who will celebrate you, encourage you, and match your effort. These are the ones who leave you feeling energized and inspired after every interaction. They value your presence and reciprocate your care, making the time and energy you spend with them feel worthwhile. When you invest in these relationships, the return is immeasurable. It's a two-way exchange of positivity, love, and respect. On the other hand, there are those who seem to take without giving. They leave you feeling depleted, frustrated, or unappreciated. These are the people who rarely check in on you, yet expect you to be there whenever they need something. They might dismiss your feelings, take your kindness for granted, or consistently cross boundaries without regard for your well-being. The more you pour into these relationships, the more you realize that your efforts are going to a bottomless pit with little to no return. Recognizing energy drainers is the first step to protecting yourself. It requires honesty and self-awareness. Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with someone. Do you feel uplifted or drained? Excited or burdened? Are you left feeling valued or invisible? The answers to these questions will guide you in deciding where your energy should go. Setting boundaries is essential. Protecting your energy means being clear about what you will and won't tolerate. It's okay to say no, to limit your availability, or to distance yourself from people who don't respect your time and efforts. Boundaries aren't about shutting others out, they're about keeping yourself whole. They ensure that you have enough energy to give to the people and activities that genuinely matter to you. Sometimes protecting your energy also means letting go. It can be hard to walk away from relationships that once felt meaningful or comfortable. But holding on to connections that consistently drain you only stunts your growth. Letting go isn't about anger or resentment, it's about choosing peace. It's about prioritizing your well-being and making room for the right people to enter your life. When you protect your energy and invest it wisely, you begin to notice a profound shift. You feel lighter, more focused, and more at peace. The relationships in your life become sources of strength, not stress. And most importantly, you give yourself the freedom to thrive. Your energy is your power. Guard it fiercely and give it only to those who truly deserve it. When you truly understand your worth, you realize there is no need to chase after attention, validation, or approval from others. Chasing implies a lack, a void you're trying to fill by seeking something external. But when you know your value, you operate from a place of abundance. You recognize that what's meant for you will naturally align with your life and you don't have to run after it. Instead, you attract what resonates with your energy, your confidence, and your self-respect. Chasing people, whether in relationships, friendships, or professional connections, often leads to a cycle of frustration and disappointment. It creates an imbalance where you expend energy trying to prove your worth to someone who may never see it. This is not because you lack value, but because they are not aligned with what you bring to the table. By chasing, you inadvertently diminish your own power, sending a message that their approval is more important than your self-respect. Attracting, on the other hand, is about stepping into your authentic self. It's about knowing that you are enough just as you are. When you stop chasing, you begin to focus on becoming the best version of yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You invest in your growth, your passions, and your happiness. This inner confidence radiates outward, drawing the right people and opportunities to you effortlessly. Understanding your worth also means setting standards. It's about knowing what you will and won't accept in relationships and interactions. When you chase, you often settle for less than you deserve just to keep someone in your life. But when you attract, you set boundaries that reflect your value. You're no longer willing to beg for attention or settle for crumbs. You demand mutual effort, respect, and appreciation, and you wait for the people who are willing to give that to you. The process of attracting rather than chasing requires patience and trust. It's not always easy to let go of the urge to pursue someone or something you desire, but chasing often leads to temporary satisfaction at best and heartache at worst. Attracting, however, brings long-lasting fulfillment because it's rooted in authenticity. The connections you form are genuine, built on a foundation of mutual respect and shared values. When you stop chasing, you also make room for the right people to enter your life. Chasing often blinds you to your own needs because you're so focused on someone else's attention. By stepping back and focusing on yourself, you create a space where the right energy can find you. You're no longer tied to proving your worth to others. You let your presence speak for itself. Ultimately, knowing your worth means understanding that you are enough. You don't have to beg, plead, or chase to be seen or valued. The right people will recognize your light without you having to dim it for their approval. Attracting is about living in your truth, radiating confidence, and allowing what's meant for you to come naturally. Self-love is the foundation of every healthy relationship you'll ever have. When you prioritize yourself, you set the tone for how others will treat you and the kind of energy you attract into your life. Self-love is not selfish, it's an act of self-preservation and empowerment. It's about recognizing your own worth, honoring your needs, and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. When you truly love and respect yourself, you create a space where the right people can align with your energy. Prioritizing yourself starts with understanding that your happiness and well-being are your responsibility. Too often, people look to others to fill emotional voids or validate their existence. But relying on external sources for love or acceptance leaves you vulnerable to disappointment. Self-love teaches you that you are whole on your own. It's about cultivating a strong sense of self that doesn't waver based on someone else's approval or attention. When you practice self-love, you naturally begin to set boundaries. You understand that not everyone deserves access to your energy, time, or emotions. You become more discerning about who you allow into your life because you value your peace and growth. By prioritizing yourself, you make it clear that you won't tolerate relationships or situations that drain you. This clarity sends a powerful signal to others. If they want to be in your life, they must meet you at your level of respect and effort. Self-love also shifts the way you interact with others. When you truly value yourself, you don't feel the need to beg for attention, chase validation, or compromise your principles to keep someone in your life. Instead, you attract people who see and appreciate you for who you are. These individuals will align with your energy because they respect the boundaries and standards you've set. Healthy relationships are built on mutual admiration and effort, and self-love ensures that you only invest in connections that uplift and inspire you. The journey of self-love isn't always easy. It requires unlearning habits of self-doubt, breaking free from toxic cycles, and confronting the parts of yourself you've neglected. But every step you take toward loving yourself deepens your connection to your own truth. You start to treat yourself with kindness, patience, and compassion the way you would a dear friend. And in doing so, you attract others who reflect that same love and kindness back to you. When you prioritize yourself, you also inspire those around you to do the same. Your self-love becomes a beacon, showing others what it looks like to honor one's worth. The right people will be drawn to your authenticity and confidence, and they will respect the boundaries you've established. The relationships you cultivate will feel effortless and genuine because they're rooted in mutual respect and shared values. Ultimately, self-love is about creating a life where you thrive, not just survive. By putting yourself first, you align with your purpose and attract people who are meant to walk with you on your journey. The love you give to yourself sets the standard for the love you receive from others. In life, the most profound lesson we can learn is the importance of valuing ourselves. Everything, our relationships, our goals, and our personal growth flows from the foundation of self-worth. Recognizing your value is not just a self-help mantra, it's a transformative practice that shapes how you show up in the world and how the world responds to you. When you know your worth, you stop seeking validation from external sources and start honoring yourself in every aspect of your life. The journey to self-worth is deeply personal, requiring patience and introspection. It's about shedding the need to chase after people who fail to see your value and instead focusing on those who uplift and respect you. It's about letting your actions, not your words, set the standard for how you want to be treated. When you stop begging for attention or approval, you reclaim your power and align yourself with people and opportunities that match your energy. Relationships thrive on balance, and reciprocity is key. Healthy connections are built on mutual effort, shared values, and respect. If you find yourself constantly giving without receiving, it's time to step back and evaluate whether that relationship honors your worth. Protecting your energy means investing it wisely, not allowing others to drain you with their indifference or negativity. Boundaries aren't walls to keep people out, they're bridges that ensure only those who value and respect you can cross into your life. Self-love is at the core of this transformation. It's the act of prioritizing yourself, not out of selfishness, but out of necessity. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And when you pour love into yourself, it overflows into every area of your life. The right people will be drawn to this authenticity, aligning with your energy and reciprocating the respect you show yourself. Self-love also gives you the courage to walk away from what no longer serves you, creating space for healthier and more fulfilling connections. Ultimately, the power to create a life of meaning and joy lies within you. The relationships you cultivate, the energy you surround yourself with, and the way you carry yourself all stem from your understanding of your value. You don't need to chase after what is meant for you. When you live in alignment with your worth, the right people and opportunities will be drawn to you naturally. Life is too short to spend it chasing people, compromising your boundaries, or seeking approval from those who fail to appreciate you. Instead, choose to focus on your growth, your peace, and your purpose. By doing so, you set a standard that inspires others to meet you where you are. And those who truly value you will rise to meet that standard, creating relationships and experiences that uplift and empower you. So step into your worth with confidence, love yourself fiercely, protect your energy unapologetically, and trust that everything meant for you will find its way into your life. This is your time to thrive, not just survive. The choice is yours, make it count. So the next time you find yourself waiting on a call or staring at your phone for a text that never comes, remember this: you are worthy. You are enough, you deserve to be valued. And anyone who doesn't recognize that, let them go. Their silence is your answer. Keep moving forward, keep shining. Don't chase, attract, and watch how your world changes.